The Crusades. The First Crusade. Pope Urban II called for a crusade after Alexius Comnenus. The Byzantine emperor asked for assistance against the Turks. Peter the Hermit and Walter the Penniless immediately led a group that rushed ahead of the official expedition. Members of the Byzantine Crusades were all slaughtered. Main army consisted of well-trained French and Norman knights. The leaders included Godfrey of Bouillon, Raymond of Tours, Robert of Flanders, Bohemond of Taranto, and Hugh of Vermont. This army was joined by Byzantine forces in Constantinople. In 1097, the armies won the first major battle near Nicaea, now in northwestern Turkey. The First Crusade continued. Inter-army conflicts split the forces. The Western European forces marched toward Jerusalem, fighting battles along the way. One of the most difficult was the siege of Antioch in northern Syria, and many Crusades died there. After Antioch was captured, the Turks attacked, but the discovery of a land said to have wounded Jesus on the cross inspired the crusade to a great victory. In 1099, they arrived at Jerusalem, and after 6 weeks of fighting, they reclaimed the city. Most crusaders returned home, but the leaders who remained divided the Holy Land into 4 states: the country of Edessa, the country of Tripolis, the kingdom of Jerusalem, and the principality of Antioch. The Second Crusade. In 1144, the Turks conquered the country of Edessa, and the threat to the other states brought on the Second Crusade. The French religious leader Bernard of Clairvaux inspired Europeans to defend the states in the Holy Land. King Louis of France and King Conrad of Germany both led armies into Asia Minor, but their armies suffered from a lack of cooperation. The 2 armies were defeated before reaching Edessa. The Third Crusade. In 1183, Salah ad-Din, the Sultan of Egypt and Syria, united the Muslims against the Christian states, and in 1187 Salah ad-Din defeated the Christians at the Battle of the Horns of Hattin, after which he retook Jerusalem. The loss of Jerusalem inspired the Third Crusade. At the time, only the cities of Tyre, Tripoli, and Antioch remained in Christian hands. The leaders of the Third Crusade included Richard I, and England, Philip II of France, and Frederick I of Germany. Frederick drowned in 1190 on his way to the Holy Land after failing off his horse. Quarreling between Richard and Philip limited the success of the Crusades. The cities of Acre and Jaffa were conquered in 1191, after which Philip returned home to plot against Richard. Richard failed to free Jerusalem, but he negotiated a treaty with Salah ad-Din that allowed Christians pilgrims to freely enter Jerusalem. The Fourth Crusade. Resulting from the failure of the Third Crusade to capture Jerusalem, the Fourth Crusade became strangled but in Byzantine politics and never reached their goal. Pope Innocent III persuaded the French noble to take part in this crusade. The plan was for Venetian trades to transport them to Egypt so as to split the Muslim power. The Crusades could not pay the cost of the ships, so as payment the Crusades had to attack city Zara. At the same time, a Greek prince named Alexius claimed he should be ruler of the Byzantine Empire and enlisted the aid of the Crusaders. In 1203, the Crusaders seized Constantinople and made Elias and his dad Isaac co-emperors, but Alexius could not fulfill promises he had made to supply them with gold and other items. So in 1204, the Crusaders captured Constantinople again and made Baldwin of Flanders the new emperor. This latter empire of Constantinople lasted until 1261. The Children's Crusades. Thousands of boys and girls from age 10 to 18 became convinced that they could recapture Jerusalem. They expected God to let them win because they were poor and faithful, and also expected God to part the waters of the Mediterranean so that they could get to the Holy Land. None of them reached the Holy Land. Many died or froze during the march to the Mediterranean, and when the waters didn't part, the others returned home. Some got aboard Easterbound ships and drowned. After these crusades, the Muslims continued to gain territory. In 1268, they captured Antioch, and in 1291, they seized Acre, the last Christian stronghold. Europeans lost interest in the Holy Land, and several attempts to get a crusade in the 1300s and 1400s failed. Instead, Europe turned to the New World when Columbus found America and gave the Holy Land to the Muslims. Thank you. My name is Anas Munzer. And thanks for listening.